There's four main generations known in the most recent years of humanity. Boomers, Generation X, Generation Y, aka Millennials, and Generation Z. Don't get me wrong, each of these four generations do have their problems, but all was good in humanity when these were the main generations that coexist. They'd count on each other. Well, that was until Gen Alpha, born after year 2010. I see a lot of them in denial that they are in the generation, and they always say Gen A starts in the year after their birth year and not 2010. So let me clear up the confusion. If the third digit in your birth year is a 1, and it doesn't start with 19, then you are in Generation Alpha. Gen A starts in 2010, okay? Dirty and crusty iPads. Cringe slang. Terrible attention span. Are just a few things that Gen Alpha is labeled with. Generation Alpha is on track to being the most unsuccessful generation. To me, Generation Alpha is like every recent generation's worst weaknesses, combined into one generation. Basically, they have the cognition of boomers, family detachment of Gen X, laziness and social awkwardness of millennials, and sensitivity and gullibility of Gen Z. The first problem I want to go over is the entertainment. For most gens, there was a point where your main source of entertainment was TV. We didn't have endless access to what we wanted. We had to watch what the TV channels picked for us. I mean, sure, you could argue that television is a form of mindless entertainment, but nowhere near the level of what we have now. With TV, you have a selection of programs that are chosen randomly. With content apps, you have content customized for your specific interest. We all know what's more addictive. Generation Alpha is the first generation to grow up without these limitations in entertainment. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Well, as long as the content helps encourage productive educational stuff, it isn't a bad thing, but nope, it does not. For any of you guys who took a glance at your younger sibling or cousin's iPad, you'd see the most brain-rotting crap on that screen. I feel like millennials and Gen Z grew up with the last childhood shows and entertainment that we could look back on with pleasure. I'm sure you guys grew up with the most Cartoon Network shows. Can't forget those great Nickelodeon shows, Henry Danger, Thundermans, iCarly, Sam and Cat, and other great stuff. And even for late Gen Zers, those born in like 2008 and 2009, some grew up with some YouTube as well. Not as good as TV, but there was still great stuff, like Peak SML. And the annoying Orange Show, just for a couple examples. But, wanna know what's gonna be really disturbing? There's gonna be Gen Alpha kids reminiscing on their favorite brain rot content like Skibidi Toilet, Coco Melon. Can't forget the creepy Roblox roleplay videos. And creepy cosplay videos. They're literally gonna sit there and be like, oh man, those were classics. They don't make them like that anymore. I can't comprehend how they'll be all nostalgic and happy for this. Sure, you could say that Gen Z and millennials had weird crap growing up too. Like, have y'all ever heard of Breadwinners? One of the most brain-rotting shows you could watch. Surely you all remember those cringe MLG edits from like 2016, you know, the ones with the shiny shades, the Doritos with Mountain Dew. But I'd take that over Skibidi Toilet. Those kids literally are on YouTube Kids watching creepy pregnant character videos, creepy cosplay, and other terrible stuff that wouldn't even be allowed on television. I'm scared for what kind of effects this content will have on their growth, and how it will affect them in the long run. Another problem they have is definitely socialization. I get that Gen Z being addicted to their phones causes them to be antisocial people, but at least most of us can comprehend a social life without using the internet. Like going outside, to play with friends, meeting on the playground, playing soccer, football, or whatever, just talking, you know, normal socializing. Unfortunately, Gen Alpha is the first generation to be deprived of this. They mainly socialize on the internet, maybe on a Discord voice chat, having sex with their Roblox girlfriends, and other shenanigans. Remember the days when we'd be happy when it was recess time and we could finally go outside and play? I can safely say, these Gen Alpha kids just don't care. They'd rather stay inside and play on their iPad, and honestly, I can't blame them fully. These kids are pretty much given an iPad at birth, so it's no wonder they have no social skills, and the pandemic and lockdown definitely made this situation worse. Can you imagine going from first grade to third or fourth grade and you end up in a whole new school out of nowhere? That's the most important time range for learning how to socialize. It's not normal or fair for a child to have to be locked away from socializing like this. Another big problem might be education and intelligence. I'd say the world is facing an education crisis right now. No one wants to teach anymore. First of all, you get paid a salary equal to a kid's 25-cent lemonade stand. The students barely listen, and have little to no respect for you, and the kids don't even understand what lesson you are teaching. Studies show Gen Alpha kids can't even read and write at basic levels. So these kids are out here forming sentences like Joe Biden. Apparently there's 7th graders that can't even read at a 3rd grade level. You're supposed to learn how to read chapter books in 2nd grade, and these 7th graders can barely read Dr. Seuss. I'm sorry, but if you are in 6th or 7th grade, and can't even spell theory, we are definitely doomed as a society. Not only are Gen Alpha unable to read and write, they refuse to listen in class. They are very rude, disruptive, screaming at their teachers, talking back, and trying to get their equally brain-dead friends to laugh. Well, that's my main concerns for Gen Alpha, but there might be some positive things that could come out of Gen Alpha. Hopefully, by the time the generation is fully grown, nobody will be discriminated for how they grew up. And, really, who knows, you might be a grown Gen Alpha person watching this 10 to 20 years after this video was published and you made it out okay. This video is mainly about late Gen Alpha. If you are an early Gen Alpha kid who is born from 2010 to like 2012, I don't think you guys are that bad, at least in my book.